I'm down one bar. That's nothing. You go down one bar, just going from one bar to another.
He's never passed a bar in his life. That's a different show.
On one of the Real Housewives I watch, which as you know, is a great show. One of the husbands has failed the bar 3 times.
Really?
That's not a good sign.
Do they keep saying, well, California is one of the hardest? Do they say stuff like that?
No, they keep saying it's a plot point in the show because he may be trouble, this guy.
They're like, our gardener passed the bar.
It's Real Housewives of Orange County. They're all terrible, but at least they're divided up by city.
That's right.
The best one is probably... There's no best one.
But there's no worst one, apparently.
Yes. I tried to watch Dallas. Not so good. I expect bad, but the portion's so small.
Right.
I'm taking out various things so I don't make noise later.
Okay, good.
Hey, look, I brought us a present.
Nice.
Would you like half of a chocolate Santa? Or you wouldn't want it now?
Well, you're making it look so weird.
Here, you want the top part?
Yes, I do, Tony.
Here's to us, to Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Clink.
Clink. Merry Christmas, Josh. Merry
Christmas, half a Santa.
Merry Christmas, old Savior. Oh, I do it better with that. Merry Christmas, old buildings alone. Is that
the secret?
Merry Christmas. I have never been greeted by Lucky with more zip and more zazz.
Don't give her any of the Santa.
I know. And should I just put... you want to put it in the bag so you don't lose it, or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Is this good radio?
I feel much better with it rattling around in your own shopping bag.
Well, let me just tell you something. It's C's candy.
Say.
Which...
Rather see.
I do love the Karen Kilgariff story she says in her act where she went home to Petaluma. I forget where she went home, but she made sure to take a whole bunch of C's candy because she didn't realize that every city had C's candy.
Yeah.
So she gets off the plane. Oh, you got it over here now, too. And then there was a time period when C's candy was...
Oh, man, when I was a kid, if any Jew went to California, if they didn't come back with C's suckers, they were traitors to the race.
Yeah, and I never knew about it because I was in New York.
Yeah, you were sitting there in a mountain of Carvels out there.
I had a Carvel cake on Christmas Eve.
Did you? What was it shaped like?
It was a
Santa the whale.
No, it was not shaped like a whale. It was rectangular.
Yeah.
And it was a big cake. And Susan bought it, but it already had...
Did you use any of your insider cred? Any of your swag?
To get a Carvel? Oh, no, she didn't. But the size that she wanted only said happy birthday, so she bought her own sugar things. What are they called? Letters that are made out of sugar that you put on top of a cake?
I think you described them enough for us to not have to
shorten it for me.
Cordial letters.
So she turned it from happy birthday. I never asked her who it was to happy birthday Jesus for Christmas. Maybe I don't tell stories well. I know I don't tell them well. Maybe you don't listen well? No, I know you listen.
No, it was good the way that she changed the letters to happy birthday Jesus.
Yeah, from happy birthday.
From happy birthday Jesus, she changed it to...
No, I have the proof. I have the receipt for the, those letters are not particularly they're good, but there's nothing distinguishes them.
You don't see anyone walking around with a bag of letters.
Like Skittles.
Right.
Or maybe that's because they've never tried to sell them in the bag.
True enough. Eat your words. It's not a good idea, Andy. Don't make that face.
I'm making a face. I know what you're saying. It's not something... You're recording something.
No, I'm getting a text from your wife.
Oh, great.
About dinner tomorrow.
Oh, what time is dinner tomorrow? Do we know?
Why don't you come over around 8? We'll eat around 9.
Oh, my God. 8? Okay, yeah.
It's midnight. We're targeting midnight.
It's also close to us.
Yes. Is that too early? What was that? I mean, when I figure out I tell you to come at 8.
If we come at 8:30, we'll be okay, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, that's what you're thinking, so yeah. No. That's clearly. That's a much more comfortable time for you.
No.
That half hour, if that's the difference between you showing up ha ha, or
I'm rushing. I didn't get time to relax. Well, a good time is going to be had by us tomorrow night. I didn't even know it was a new decade. I think I mentioned that to you. I had no memory that there was a decade coming up.
Yeah, that's it.
That shows, I think, aging.
It's a changeover.
It shows aging, I think. That's aging because when you're a little kid, everything, I know it's a cliche, but everything seems longer. And I remember when it was going to be 1976. Oh, my God. I knew about it in 75. I was preparing for it right after.
I remember that, too, but I was much younger. You have less excuse for this excitement level.
Well, here's what happened. First, there was so much excitement. First, we impeached Nixon.
They changed the quarters.
We impeached Nixon. Hey, that's out of the way. Now it's time to ramp up.
Right. Let's cleanse our palate with some flag waving.
And that's right. And it was a terrible, there was nothing great about the bicentennial. There just was no way to live up to the hype. There was hype. You wouldn't remember this.
I do remember the hype. In fact, it might be some of the first hype I remember in my life.
Yeah, it was like bang, bang. Well, how old were you? Because I don't want to do the math.
I was 5.
Ooh. Right. So not much. Not like I had to go through.
No, I mean, I remember it.
Yeah, but did you have to go through it? I went through it 7 with Kennedy, JF Kennedy. They didn't call him JF Kennedy then. He got assassinated.
He what?
He did, November 22nd.
What the?
And then he said,
I have to Google this. Hold on.
And then my friend said, and then people go, oh, well, you had a good childhood after that. Have you ever heard the song Abraham, Martin, and John? It's not about Martin Mull. Well, why would I be happy?
Worst moment of your childhood, Kennedy getting shot, or give it a shot?
What is give it a shot?
What is give it a shot?
Is that a Martin Mull thing?
No. We're talking bad moments of your childhood.
You brought it up.
I did. I made you stockings with it. How could I?
Not only did you make stockings with it, but when this was the greatest Christmas I've ever had in my life.
Okay, good.
And do you know why, right?
Tell me.
I already put it on Twitter. I won. I won the argument about whether it was a tragedy, what my mother did to me. You're telling me...
Why did you win the argument? Because you found the stocking.
Because you're telling me that a mother telling a 4 or 5-year-old to put the stocking that has his name on it...
No, okay, here's where you're misunderstanding me.
Oh.
I at no point thought, that's a good piece of parenting by your mom. At no point was I on that side of history, okay? My point entirely is this a scar worth carrying around to this level as it presenting it as a central tent pole of your emotional life?
Is that something you're looking for in life?
It's apparently what you're looking for.
So I remember 3 things. I have 3 memories.
But maybe if you stop dwelling on this one so much, some other ones will shake loose.
No, I thought
it's like you're staring into the light of it, and if you take it down, you'll see some of the satellites.
I thought this was like Dateline.
Yeah.
Well,
I know you listen to a lot of these podcasts, but you did act like you cracked the case, and I still am going, well, it's not like I thought you went out and bought yourself a stocking at 5.
If you think that ended the stocking story, think again.
You've got another thing coming down the chimney.
Trying to do Keith, but he's very hard to do.
It was pretty good.
Well, when he does it, oh my.
That you got a little Sulu there.
I've been doing my impression for people. This just shows how many horrible things have happened in their life. I go, who is this? Look, Larry. You can hear that giant sucking sound, Larry. You can hear that giant sucking sound all the way to Mexico, Larry. And people know, yes, it's a bad impression.
Yeah.
But then once I tell them it's H. Ross Perot.
No, you're going to let me guess.
Oh.
I mean, I knew.
Because I said, Larry. Hey, Larry. Look, Larry.
No, giant sucking sound actually helped me more than Larry.
Well, my impression is all my impressions are through Dana Carvey.
Right.
He did the great impression. Because he was.
How do you feel about chickens as house pets?
Chicken. I'm not doing this, okay? This is the bit. A chicken. Make a pet house pet. There's a guy who lived in this area who told him, a chicken make a pet house pet. You know he's a personal favorite because I saw him do his audition set for
At Igby's.
Saturday Night Live, yeah.
Yeah. You're wearing rare comedy club swag tonight. I mean, the swag itself isn't rare, but the appearance on your body is.
The reason why I don't wear it more is because I end up doing enough name dropping and promoting that I don't need to wear the shirt. No, I like shirts like this, but I always if there's stuff on it, will it be itchy? This one's not itchy.
Good.
I don't want to go be the mistake of the guy who wears young people's clothes. There's no reason to be a T-shirt guy all the time.
You're living in a T-shirt world.
If you notice, when we go out to our various meetings and such,
yeah,
many times I'll be wearing a collared shirt that's appropriate for men my age. Short sleeve shirt.
And sock suspenders.
That's different. I bet you never wore suspenders. Maybe I did wear suspenders if it was forced on me. Did you ever get like on a suit thing?
I've worn them with formal wear.
Did you have overalls?
I think as a little kid I had overalls.
I had them too, but I don't know when I would have worn them. I wasn't in the Beverly Hillbillies, which, by the way, when you look back now, for the time, very sensitive show towards the South, and you know what I mean, really did not stereotype at all. I didn't think this. I mean, I actually probably didn't stereotype, really. It's just Jethro was Jethro. All right, just take me out of this and move us on to something good. Get us on to Green Acres.
Did you like Beverly Hillbillies?
I did, only, at a certain age I did, but it didn't stick with me. It was like a lot of shows I liked when I was like 6 or 7 or 7 or 8.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I was the same in that. If it was TV, there was a baseline like I had for it, but
I think they were good.
Did you like Beverly Hillbillies or Green Acres better?
Well, you have to like Green Acres better eventually because it's a way better show.
I think that's true.
But I didn't love it. I liked Beverly Hillbillies first because when I was younger. Right. It was funnier to me when I was younger.
Sure, it's like first you like the Munsters, then you like the Addams Family.
And to my memory, they came out the exact same year, which is an interesting thing.
Which?
That's all I know. Both of them. The Munsters and the Addams Family, I thought came out the same year.
I think they came out.
Shut up. Somewhat.
Wow.
You heard me. No, what'd you think?
I don't know. I thought you were fucking possessed there for a second.
Shut up. If I ever get that
ghost of Little Richard came in.
Sometimes you get that look on the Real Housewives when they're really drunk.
Yeah.
You really can get that look of when someone is just about to say something horrible.
Yeah.
You're a fucking you're a fucking terrible fucking person. It's worse what they say. I made amends to someone this week who I'm not even an alcoholic. I made amends to somebody. I saw Jeff Garland, TV's Jeff Garland.
Wow, that's so fresh off of last week's show when you were talking about him.
Are you lying to me now?
I'm not lying to you at all. You went on a big Jeff Garland thing after trying to explore your Judd Apatow / Adam Sandler.
Well, I walked up to him. I said, "I'm very sorry. I was wrong to. If I had a problem with you, I should have told you about it, person to person. I shouldn't have gone on Twitter." And I always throw in that I'm on Prozac now, and I'm in therapy. I always do a little self-deprecating number with it. But I said, I don't know if you got my text. I texted you, and he said, no, I didn't get it. So we traded numbers. Couldn't have been nicer. And then I walked him the last 10 feet.
And he said, I have ice cream.
No. He did generally have ice cream, but only to the extent that he's a serious regular on a show. He's probably got more money than me, you, and you put together.
All four of us?
Well, he's on the Goldbergs. I think it's something on 47 years.
No, I'm not disputing it.
I know you're not. I'm just angry about people making money. No. So in a way, in general, he has ice cream. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's either a cocktail party. No,
sure.
But he looked very good too, and he was very nice. It felt really good.
Good.
And I didn't even tweet.
I'm sure it's a huge relief for him too.
What's that?
I'm sure it's a huge relief for him.
He couldn't care. Well, that's a different story. That's a different story. Like, am I building myself up to be like, I wonder if he's ever gotten over our rift?
That was my.
No, I heard.
That was my point. My sarcastic.
No, I
point.
think definitely hurt his feelings. Like it'd be like
probably
even if it's a gnat coming out of nowhere to go, you're a terrible person, or whatever the thing was. I didn't call him a terrible person. I made fun of him.
But some people get offended so often that they don't remember them all.
That's true. I did,
Back on mic.
Back on mic. Do you think when I go like this off the mic, is it because of my act? I'm such a great actor that I'm into the character of Andy Kindler?
I think it is. So you had a good Christmas? Aside from your crime solving, that didn't really solve anything for me.
You want to get back into this?
Sure.
Okay, so you said to me, so I thought I was the greatest thing because it's like saying, my mother, that looks, okay, the only thing I think I wouldn't say I would, I can lie under not even the best conditions. Yeah. I'll lie if I have to.
Sure.
Not like Kathy Griffin does.
I have no reason to believe that you didn't just search Google Andy stocking and pick the oldest looking one.
But I believe that's my mother's. It looks like my mother's handwriting. But then I'm thinking, why would my mother write on this? That's not my mother. That's
not handwriting either. It was stitched, wasn't it?
What?
It was stitched, wasn't it?
No. It looks like magic marker, like dried magic marker. That's why I thought it was my mother.
Okay.
Stitched? What do you think? I came from gold? But I thought that everything has been. I thought that would be like. I thought it was going to be I thought it was going to be like the greatest moment of my life since the TV show.
Yeah.
Because
since what TV show?
Since you're right. What TV show? The web series. The web series of us.
Oh, since you busted the girl.
Oh God! You know, I've called that family 2 or 3 times since then.
Yeah.
And so how's it feel?
Has she gotten up yet?
Actually, the thing that was kind of funny about her was that she was, in a way, within 3 minutes, unfazed.
So wait, I got to go back to the stocking.
Yeah.
Did you actually find the stocking, or did you find pictures of it?
Oh no! I have that. My stocking is. I've had that stocking since I was a little boy.
Okay. So
I came out to California. We had Janet, Andrew, and Robert. We had 3 stockings. Uh-huh. They were red when they were little kids. Uh-huh. And then I've always had a thing for Christmas, so I saved that. I've always saved that stocking because the other thing. Here's another fact to put to it that just shows you how strange my mother was in general.
Yeah.
She had a tradition in her family that didn't celebrate Christmas, but I guess they did. Uh-huh. At some point, they put an apple in the bottom of the stocking. Uh-huh. So Susan always puts an apple in the bottom of my stocking.
Okay.
So what I'm telling you is, whatever you think I should have come out by age 3. I was like, yeah, where's the filter fish? Everything's groovy. I grew up in Queens, New York. I wasn't around Jews like you. Your place was stinking with Jews.
Minnesota, yes.
You're stinking with them. And not even good Jews.
That's like lutefisk you're smelling, not Jews.
Not even entertaining Jews. Everyone's foreboding. Everyone's quiet. You don't get the Queens. Andy, how much does your parents make? That kind of thing. All right, sorry. End of bit. Scene. Yeah, so I thought that the fact that I had a stocking and Christmas traditions that went with it, like we always put an apple in the bottom.
I understand there was disappointment that one time. I get it.
Why does your voice sound like you're a color commentator? I understand. Hey, Andy Kindler, let's face it, he had some ups and downs, but to be this upset about it. I gotta tell you, that affects his batting average.
Exactly.
You would think that would be a new impression, but it's not. It's just it's kind of off of the DJ guy, right?
It's he's in the family of broadcasters.
I guess he thought. What did he think when he came?
Apparently, he thought dragging a tiny emotional scar along for his entire 63-year-old life would make him a big man. Anything but.
Well, that's just truth. You know what? I just want to say I officially let go. This was the big breakthrough.
Yes.
And you know what made me let it go?
What did Susan think of the stockings, by the way? Did she think it was funny?
Oh, yeah. You mean like me tweeting it?
No, me giving them to you.
Yeah. You have to be dead if you don't laugh at that.
Okay, good.
She also loved that it had to be on 2 stockings.
Yes.
Because of the size of the print. No, everyone enjoys it.
Okay.
I mean, I'll tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not replacing those stockings with the ones that we use because we just exchanged stockings this year. We did not do gifts. We used to do gifts.
Yeah.
We did not do gifts to each other. Although when I bring out the money, you know what I'm saying? So I got a Roku.
Good.
I'm very excited about it. It's my first of those devices.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times I'm on.
Is it the little plug-in kind?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I have a remote control with it.
Beautiful.
I don't know if I need. Why am I pitching that part of it? But I really think I'm going to watch TV differently now. I just have never had a smooth way to go to all these different things or to play. And now the criteria, I put the criterion in there. Bing, bang, boom. Looks good.
Yeah.
And it's 4K, but there's not a lot of 4K stuff still.
Right.
Do you have any of those devices? I think you do. Well. Listen to me. Answer the question. Answer the fuck. Do you or do you not?
Yes.
What do you got?
One of my TVs is a Roku.
Roku ready?
Is built in Roku'd.
That means you have to take that TV on the road with you?
I'm not, however, making goose sounds after that made it funnier. It did. I'm not sure.
You know what the worst gift I've ever got? Well, at the time it was a good gift, but the worst gifts over the years have been any version of universal remotes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to eliminate remotes. You don't want one. Wouldn't you want one Star Trek-looking device that controls it all? No.
You would.
But it doesn't.
But you don't want to hire a consultant to program it.
You don't want to have look, make it simple. I don't want to have to sign for Apple Care.
I don't want to turn into my mother with a VCR.
My mother is the quintessential parent who could never learn anything. I mean, she had great skills. She was a great eye and knew antiques, but she couldn't learn modern technology things.
They had, our mothers had issues with a fixed mindset, as they call it.
Well, people do too today. I mean, if you don't, like one thing I was thinking with Susan was like the fact that we learned, we're not computer whizzes, but we forced ourselves to learn it when we had to learn it.
I just edited a trailer for my movie this week.
Well, that's
that's something.
That's above and beyond.
No, but that's something up until 5 years ago I would have said, I can't do that.
Oh, does that happen because of the bar? I'm going to say DeBarge. Who is DeBarge? That's a group, right?
Yes.
Michael DeBarge. Did it happen because of that movie?
Partially. I mean, I did the first cut of that movie. That's when I really learned to edit, and then I did hire an editor to really finish it up. But I edited the second movie all myself.
Which is the comic one?
Yeah.
Did you have an editor help you?
It now becomes the first movie.
I don't get it.
Because it came out 2 years before the DeBarge one.
Oh, but that's not the way I think of it.
No, nor do I. But I finished today. I mean, I handed it all off.
It's done.
It's done. I have one more check to write. Probably there'll be more, but there's no more.
Now, what is it with you?
I've delivered off all my stuff.
What is it with you why is the day 12/31 so important to you with all this flurry of what's your PayPal thing and lend me 20 schmeckles till next Shabbos? That part I made up.
I'm just trying to close out the business here.
But are you on the same fiscal year?
I'm on a January to December fiscal year.
Oh, yeah. You have to actually make yourself on a different thing, right? If you want to.
Yeah.
And we'll be back with people who have no acuity. That's not the word. Acuity, no knowledge of businessy things. When my idea of a spreadsheet, finish that for me. My idea of a spreadsheet,
and we'll be back,
is when I almost said hooker because that's how old I was going back.
Yeah.
I figured on the same show I should. Do you think I'm going downhill? Not just comedically now.
Just overall?
Overall. No, you know I'm better. Look how healthy I am now. Look at me. Looking you in the eye, all creepy like. I know when your eyes are smiling.
Let's just say that if I was to graph it, skiers would be afraid of it because it's a black diamond.
I don't know if I like that. I don't know if that's a metaphor, and I don't think it's anything that you should be proud of. Well, thanks a lot. Your guy, Pete Buttigieg. Have you noticed, you can't like anybody I've known? I'm just making the joke. You really can't. No. I wake it up. Buttigieg strangles and drowns 4 people, and is also found out that he's not gay. Story at 9. This tearing down. I thought I was mean. I go on Twitter every day, and I see friends of mine arguing that I don't get involved. What's happened to me?
Yeah, well, why would you really?
No, because that would be me. Like, I won't even say the names, but these two comics were like, there's this thing called the Skank, or what is it? You told me about it years ago. Skank Fest?
Yeah.
So there's a whole thing with Skank Fest, and people are anti-Skank Fest. You know, I think Skank Fest was where related to that guy who got kicked off of Saturday Night Live. Anyway, I have I don't believe in that there's a thing called cancel culture that is so horrible we have to worry about it. Of course, I think horrible things happen to people for the wrong reasons, but I don't want to get involved. I now no longer want to get involved in anything.
Right.
I'm not cured. I'm in remission.
Yeah, no, I don't, I just don't, I don't need it.
I don't need it. I really don't.
So I'll tweet Trump stuff, but I haven't been tweeting Democratic candidates stuff because I don't want to fucking talk
I don't want to talk about it. You know what? Bernie Sanders, fine. Whatever you guys want to do. Right. Whatever you want to do at this point. The thing is, I can't, and it helps me emotionally because I can't get that excited about anybody, really.
No, I can't really either.
Because you don't know what's going to happen in 2 months.
No.
I mean, I had gotten to a point where I was going, you know what? Biden might be. I'm not excited about Biden.
No, how can you be excited about Biden? You can't.
He can't even answer any questions. Like they go, Buttigieg says, you should have voted against the thing. He goes, look, nobody's going to tell me about my experience with no, I know the king of this thing. I know 85 people in this government. I know that that's not the answer. The answer is all of us who helped to put that war together were wrong.
Right.
He's even said he was wrong. You know what I mean? Right. That's how hard it is to him to answer. Because it's like his thing is, look, pal, I've been around the block. I don't know what this guy, great stuff you're doing. You served, Pete. Don't start with me. That's not a winning message, his message.
It's not, but I mean, it's what Trump was doing, although he was lying about the things he knew and did.
That's the thing that's so great about, not great, but so astounding about the lengths to which he lied, where it's like, I won't even go to my golf. I wouldn't even want to golf when I'm president.
Right.
He was like saying,
right. I'll be so busy. I'll be so busy draining the swamp.
I think he had a fantasy that he would be whisked from room to room where people would listen to what he said. And
there'd be a room full of people applauding him between each room. I think that's really what he thought was going to happen.
And then there would be a apprentice-like show for president. While he was on.
Really thought everyone would just love the shit out of him.
He has to have known he doesn't care that he is hated. If you hate him, he figures you're something wrong with you.
You're a hater.
You're a hater.
It's a pretty simple equation.
Don't be a hater. Well, I'm very happy tomorrow night in real time. In real time, when this gets dropped, and I like to
we're coming to you from 2019, but Happy New Year to all you out there.
Happy New Year to everybody. We haven't had ours yet.
Well, we were talking about you just came to the realization that it's the end of a decade.
I can't even believe it.
But it was a good decade for you.
If you told me it was here's the way I feel it is.
Yeah.
I feel like last year was 1919, and now it's 2020. That's how it feels to me.
101 years later.
It feels like maybe because I grew up in the time period in the year 2525.
Yeah.
There's something cool. Well, that song sucked, but there's something cool about 2020 to me.
Well, in hindsight.
And ladies and gentlemen, the first of Josh Elvis Weinstein 7,000 jokes about 2020. I was very surprised. I was going to I wanted to make an ABC 2020 joke. I don't know. Hey, it's 2020, everybody. So that means Diane Sawyer's retiring.
Hugh Downs in a diaper in Times Square.
2020. And I never thought I'd live this long, folks. And I mean that because we elected a Nazi recently.
John Stossel.
Is he the one who went right wing?
Yes.
And he was like, get out of my...
I don't know that he wasn't right wing.
He always was.
But he wasn't talking about politics.
But he always made it sound like it's...
Your bank is charging you a fortune. It was that kind of shit.
Oh, I think he's done. Maybe he died. I'm not saying he died. And I got a little excited when I thought that he did. I don't think it's so bad.
He stosseled off this mortal coil.
I don't think... I used to think you should never unless it's Hitler or his ilk, you shouldn't ever celebrate when someone dies. But I'm not celebrating.
You can't stop now.
Yeah. Well,
like
now
Neil Innes. Woohoo!
Oh, that was sad. But besides Neil Innes, I have a thing at home on my phone. You know what my phone ring is? It's celebration. Oh, it's celebration.
Sorry, I went the other way.
Good time. Bow, bow. You know, I'm embarrassed to say that I do not know.
You know, I never liked Cool. I liked the gang.
Yes. Dude, when you get a look of delight on you, and you don't always get it.
No, I don't.
But when you do get it, it's so pleasurable. How did you manage to eat your part of the chocolate without making sound?
I did make sound. I'm wearing earphones and I made sound.
You can buy press now when you die. I just paid $16,000 for the USA Today to do a 5-word headline when I die. $16,000.
Wow. Is this a guy on the street sell this to you?
No, he was with the magazine. He had USA on his card. USA Today.
Okay, good.
I know there's going to be people, regardless of whether it's in the papers or just amongst family, who go, oh, my God. He could be. Yeah, he was funny. Occasionally, it was fun to be around. Oh, my God. He sucked all the... Will you say that I sucked all the air out of the room?
At your funeral?
Not at the funeral. Well, unless it's funny. It's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm emceeing Andy.
I'll put a vacuum hose on your casket.
You mean a CPAP hose?
Sure, we could say that.
Folks, welcome to Andy Kindler's funeral. I'm Josh Elvis Weinstein.
Your MC for the evening.
Your MC for the evening. If you've noticed, we started the funeral 5 minutes late. Wow. That's the thought spiralers cheering at the reference.
Now I'd like to bring up Adam Sandler.
Well, he's dead. Oh, Andy Kindler's in the coffin, dead Jew. He never made $1. He made fun of me. Now look what happened to you. You're dead.
Thank you, Adam. Now,
yeah. Also, I'd like to sing my song about,
Oh, I blew it. Could have kept it sweet, and he's gone.
Next up, we...
Excuse me.
We
it's Dennis Miller.
Dennis Miller here to say a few words about Andy.
This is my favorite premise of well, let me tell you something. I haven't seen anything this poorly attended since my last album taping. I don't know. I got tired of it. You know why I got sad? I started thinking about me being dead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
you know who would cheer you up? Our next speaker, Howard Cosell.
Anyway, today we bury Andy Kindler from the Republic of Domingo, who once read an article about Roberto del Bison of Peru. Now Cassius, he never called him Cassius because he came along during Muhammad Ali.
I think he came on pre-Ali. Howard.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, because I think I have a memory of him going, Cassius. This is the punch that did it. Okay, you know what? I'm such a terrible impressionist. Why do I want to take up more time working on it?
Because I do the whole second hour this way.
That's true. That's true.
So let's talk decade. It was a good decade for Andy Kindler, yes?
It was, absolutely. But I feel like the world can end. But it was a great decade.
Well, let's world aside. We're all in the same boat there.
Well, you know what? It's the best decade of my life because I'm emotionally feel good.
That's huge, though.
That's the whole thing to me. Not the whole thing.
And you got a house?
Yes. Not a house, a condo.
Well, whatever.
Whatever the hell it is.
A home?
Yeah.
You bought a home?
Yeah, but you told me from the beginning that's going to be no picnic.
Well, it's not. I hate it. I spent all last week with contractors.
More? What happened now?
No, it was just, maintenance shit, just redoing floors and doing stuff in the pressure washing in the yard and fixing bricks and tiles.
Oh man, because you have a nice chunk of I'm not saying you're Great Gatsby, but you have nice land here.
They're fixing the back 40.
And you also.
But if it was daylight out there, that deck around my pool glows.
Well, I never have been. No one invites me over to swim.
I don't. You say that, but I'm still not biting.
No.
I don't want you.
You want to swim? No. So yeah, I would say it was, but I do think so. But I also feel like I'm glad it's over too, the decade.
Yeah.
As opposed to being a good decade, I'm glad it's over because it's so hard to think outside of the fact that we could be done with our current nightmare at the end of the year. Maybe we'll make it to the end of the year and he'll be gone.
Yeah.
So that makes it seem like it makes it seem like the decade is more momentous.
Well, but that's next decade, that year.
Don't start with. What do you mean? Are you saying these aren't the aughts? Why are people talking about advent calendars a lot? And what is it? I think I know, but I don't really know. Is it just regular calendar?
No.
What is it?
An advent calendar is the counting down the 25 days before Christmas, and an advent calendar is you open a little door each day.
Oh.
And depending on how it's designed, sometimes there's a little prize in there, behind the little door. Sometimes it's like something two-dimensional, like a sticker.
And how big is it?
It's wide open, baby.
But do you buy
No, there isn't like a standard advent calendar.
But I mean, do people buy them or do they make them?
I think both.
Because Brian Poe's saying he had a Scotch calendar.
There you go. Yeah, he bought that probably.
Yeah, and he was doing it with other people.
I think Patton did it a couple of years
Yeah.
ago. He had a Scotch advent calendar. Yeah,
And every day they drink a new Scotch?
yeah, presumably.
So, how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was good.
What did you make? What was on the menu?
I did a beef fillet, like a filet mignon roast.
Oh, wow. I don't really understand. I mean, what's the difference between that and prime rib?
They're different cuts of beef.
Beef. So I think of a ribeye. That's not beef fillet.
Think of a filet mignon.
I see that part of the that part of it. When we're
If I were to cut it into steaks, they would all be filet mignons.
Got it. And how big a roast was that?
That was about a 3-pounder.
Ooh, Nelly. There's no bones in there, right?
No, it's a fillet.
Stupidest man. I'm glad I don't have a cooking show. So have you been using now, when you're sauteing, do you saute things? And what kind of size did you, and did everyone love it? Or who was here?
My mother-in-law, my stepson, my godson, and my nephew.
And was it, now, what do you guys do? I'm interested to know what you guys, well, that to me is enough to call a get-together. Well, we had 4 people on Christmas. I don't know, do you watch TV? Or no. Do you ever watch, so do you never, I don't know why I'm asking that. You're not a TV watcher as a party?
No, but we will for you tomorrow.
I plan to get drunk tomorrow.
Good.
Well, I forgot what I'm supposed to bring. Did you ask me?
I tagged Susan with dessert. I gave her dessert.
Bow. Bow, wow, wow, wow.
Bow? I like bow.
No, I'm telling you, I'm not going to make you eat a Carvel cake, but woo, baby.
Why aren't you going to make me? Yes. Don't make me eat a Carvel cake.
What kind of desserts do you like? I mean, there's hard to get good dessert. My contention
is... It's terrible. It's really hard.
It is.
You're trying to make yourself the hero of the dinner now.
Okay. I haven't had a pumpkin. Well, maybe it's because my relationship to it. I had a blueberry pie that Mrs. Carpenter made me at camp when I was a little boy, and she said, if you collect these blueberries and you collect enough and you knock on my door, I will make a blueberry pie for you. And I did it. It was the first nice thing that had ever been done for me since the...
You asked her to adopt you.
No, since the Andrew thing.
Yeah.
I brought her to the blueberries in the stocking. Well, leaking out.
Yeah.
And she made me a blueberry pie. I've never had a pie like that my whole life, so I think it wasn't the pie specifically. But I don't like pumpkin pies, mostly.
Yeah.
I've had great pecan pies in Austin.
Allergic to pecans.
Oh, well now are you, who's allergic?
I am.
Okay, are you allergic to nuts in general?
Just walnuts and pecans.
Okay, so this is something that's good to know.
I logged that with Susan already. We traded allergies.
What was hers? Oh, she doesn't want you. Don't come here with the mussels.
Don't bring the mussels, especially the mussels soaked in gluten.
And that would be the worst O. Henry story ever.
It really was.
She brought the gluten. I brought the mussels. So far, I think I rate myself tonight fair. Fair to middling.
Fair. I mean, but you have the energy of a funnier Andy.
I think I couldn't have said it better myself. The energy of a funnier Andy. I got a couple little notes down here. Is there anything here that looks good to me? So what's the, okay? So
I had a good thing happen.
What happened
this week? Bullseye, the show Bullseye on NPR,
That's
Jesse
right.
Thorne's show.
I remember the name now.
Put one of my album cuts on their year-end best comedy of 2019.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, that's a very. I'm acting like I don't know this. You told me already.
Yes.
Why am I acting like it's a bit? So that was a great thing when I heard it.
It was really good, especially because I was literally that very day that I found out it was on there in sort of like a self-indulgent, pouty kind of. You look back at the year like, yeah, I made an album and no one cared. You know?
Right.
And then boom, that happened that same
That's
day.
so great.
So it made me feel good.
And did it boost any sales? Probably.
I don't know. I don't have a monitoring system for that. But
no, but he has excellent taste.
Why? Thank you. And yes, you're saying that because he then closed by saying nice things about you.
Oh, I forgot. I did forget that in that moment.
It was the last clip of the show, and he plugged Thought Spiral and said he does the show with Andy Kindler, who's one of my 5 favorite comics in the world.
That is great to hear, and I'm glad I teased it out of you. The second compliment. No, that's good. That's very good. But he does. That was. I want to apologize to everybody for not being self-serving for a second, for being accidentally self-serving. Normally, I'm conscious of it.
Right.
But He's we've talked about this before. I think he's an excellent interviewer. He likes a lot.
I was on the Sound of Young America show years ago.
I remember that. I remember the TSIOA
with Hodgson and Frank. I was on with.
Did you do it on the phone? The phone?
No, it was at his apartment in Santa Monica, is my recollection.
Oh, and now he lives, I think, closer. He used to live near downtown too, and so the show that I want us to do is Jordan Jesse Go.
Yeah.
So we'd like to do that. And the Jesse Jordan of Jesse Jordan Go is a doppelganger of Michael J. Pollard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, now he's got the gig to himself.
And I think, and I got to remind him of this because I kept saying it to him.
Is this young Michael J. Pollard?
I only remember
like Bonnie and Clyde era Michael J. Pollard.
Yeah, and I remember, wasn't he also in Disney films too, or not? Maybe not Disney films.
Much Disney films.
No, I'm mixing him up with another guy. Yeah. No, it is exactly that age of him. I don't remember him older in the. Is he alive?
He just died.
Oh,
like 2 weeks ago.
That's why I am the world's. I'm not saying I'm the stupidest man, but I'm close because I was like, how did that come to me? Because he was just on a in memoriam thing. I was watching a Turner Classic movie.
It looks like Jordan.
That's how I know it happened. Wow, that is like because couldn't have been that crazy old.
He wasn't young.
And
though.
Neil Innes is not that crazy. You know I'm saying this because I don't like when anyone's.
Yeah, no, Neil Innes I think was 75.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
We're still going to be trying to get an audience at that age.
God willing.
You know, I was watching MSNBC and like some of these guys, guys I like Chuck Rosenberg, and they have Neil Katyal. I love Neil Katyal.
Yeah.
But then they talk about they all had podcasts for a little while, but they didn't all last. You know, those kind of podcasts. Some of them are great, but it's just like it's an oversaturation.
Right.
But we will never have a situation where we will be forced to stop broadcasting because we, invested too much money in it or.
True.
We can write our own ticket, my friend.
Yes, or cancel our own ticket.
Or cancel our own ticket.
But it's not someone else.
It's not based on, well, I thought being on MSNBC would get us going. But now, with Bullseye, we need, I would like someone to be a publicist who's a publicist I've always been looking for, which would be someone in the note doesn't charge. Maybe it's time for you to get a publicist. I don't know what I'm saying.
I may have to get one for the movie. So.
Oh, any I was actually going to ask, but
What?
I don't know what it even means. It's not New Year's requests. It's
resolution.
Yeah. I don't have resolutions because I'll give you an example of something that to me is a tremendous advancement as a human being. Like my sister was relaying something that was frustrating to her. And I resist, and she's like, I'm really angry about this. And I resisted the jump in there, try to fix it, give my side of it. I just was able to be quiet. And it got it out, and it moved, and then we went on to another topic. But it was like, I realized so much of my life is spent trying to, as you know, as much as anybody would think would know, so I'm a controlling I think I'm less so now, but there's a controlling side to the fear.
Right.
What's he saying? Why, like the thing was like...
Yeah, I don't know that it's not that you're controlling, is that you have fear of losing control, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. It does. Yeah.
know?
Yes. Like if I...
Because it's not leadership.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't mean that to be snarky.
No, it's not like boom, boom, boom.
Because I'm a control freak, but it's a different type of thing.
Yes, it's a not trusting thing.
Yeah.
And that I'm not going to be able to...
A basic insecurity.
I'm not going to be able to stand up for myself, or I shouldn't be standing up for myself because I'm a horrible person, and he's figured it out.
Well, I think both me and Spiral Land were all very proud to hear your traffic mirror story last week.
Oh, that was really cool when Perush mentioned that. It made me feel very happy. Like I didn't even, of course, obviously, one of my issues continues to be forgetting how to get home from here.
Right, sure.
Even for a second, what he was talking about. But, yeah, that was cool. I didn't realize it would be anything other than a whatever. I'm not saying it is anything. I'm not saying it's footprints.
No, I don't know that it was inspirational.
Footprints in the sand.
I'm just saying that people are happy for you.
Josh, there's no reason for you. I'm not a hero. What if I just couldn't? Andy, I hate you. Look, don't hold me up as a hero. You know who's a hero? Eddie. Now, I cannot believe it. It is true that this evil guy, despicable guy, Gallagher, is related to Gallagher, too. This Eddie Gallagher.
Really?
Doesn't every time you hear his name you think of Gallagher? You can't.
No, now I will. But
Eddie Gallagher. I hate that guy.
If only he would have stuck to melons.
And we'll be back. I said something awkward, and you couldn't save it. Wow. That's good. That makes me feel. Everything like that makes me feel. Who did I hear talk about this? Oh, I very, very much recommend this. There's a guy, he's passing, and I'm not going to be, it's called, he writes for the New Yorker. He's the art critic for the New Yorker. I can't even pronounce his name. His name is Peter
Smith.
Shajaldal. Like that.
Mine is funnier.
I can't pronounce his last name. It's Peter Smith? That's if we Abbott and Costello it. I gotta tell you, he's got a hard last name. And he writes about it because he knows he's going to pass away soon. It's called 77 Sunset Me, because he's 77 years old and he has lung cancer. But it's such an amazing memoir. It's like all short things about his life, and it's so inspiring. And I guess I can't describe it in any other way but to say that he is facing his own death in a extremely. It just brings up all the topics. All the topics: art, God, how he felt about himself. Times he hated himself. He couldn't quit smoking.
It's chicken soup for the expiring soul.
That's true. And the list that he makes is of all the different. He goes, "I have smoked." He's dying from lung cancer.
Yeah,
and I think he's still smoking. But he says that he couldn't quit, and he tried everything. He said he smoked 1 million cigarettes, and he enjoyed every one of them. That's his claim.
God
even
bless
now.
him. Yeah.
And he goes through all the different ones. It seems like he went through, and I smoked Newport for some reason at the beginning. He was like Salem, a couple of men. I remember trying menthol because it's a little bit.
Because it's like candy.
It's like candy, and then I'm going to have fun for the rest of it. It's a cigarette, and it's a cigarette, and it has tobacco, and it tastes like candy.
It has the same thing as cough drops.
And we'll be back. We'll be back in a minute on
Dead Kids.
Preschool, Scott! Preschool!
So he goes through this whole thing. He says he ended up with Marlboro Golds. He says it's the gold standard of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And there's even sugar in it.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Oh, yeah, they put all sorts of...
But anyway, that's not why I recommend it. I recommend it for the three biggest things in his life are his daughter, giving up alcohol because he was a horrible alcoholic, and marrying his wife. This is really sweet. And I've always loved him. He's a really good art critic because he really kind of explains art in a way that helps you see it, as opposed to just talking about this, he's a neo-realism, or he just really responds to art emotionally.
Cool.
So,
well, I'm sorry he's dying.
I'm sorry he's dying too. And he's got some amazing philosophy. I'm really getting into philosophy now. I'm not. I'm really getting into it. Like I've listened to a lot of philosophy podcasts, and I don't know why it's soothing to me. It's like it used to scare me sometimes, like because all I want when I first go on is, how are you gonna live on after death? Would someone tell me something? Someone tell me the philosopher who knows it's all going to be good. But when they start to explore different things, because philosophy...
Well, as we get older, we tend to look for less strenuous forms of masturbation.
Is that what you see it ultimately is?
No, I couldn't do that. My brother's a PhD in philosophy. I can't say that.
Terrible. But I listened to this podcast about Errol Morris. I'm still listening to it.
Yeah.
But he was a philosophy major, and before he made movies, and this podcast, which is called Hi-Fi Nation is the name of it on Slate. It's Barry Lamb is the host, and Errol Morris has had this feud with this guy his entire life, and the guy's name is Kuhn, and he's like one of the most influential philosophers, I guess, of the 20th century, like Paradigm Shift or something, and Errol Morris hates him so much, and Errol Morris is able to explain why the guy drives him crazy in a way that's just pure delight for me.
Good. Errol Morris is not hesitant to go all the way with his opinions.
Is this going to be something like where I woke up tomorrow and Elizabeth Warren's killed somebody, or is this one of those?
No, I'm just saying that Errol Morris has fucking arch opinions, and sometimes they're really good, and sometimes I don't agree with them.
Well, you know when they were bad? When he made the documentary about the Theranos woman, he made the positive documentary about her, and she was the one who was like, all I need is this much of your blood, and within minutes, I can...
Right.
Yeah. I liked Fog of War.
Yeah.
Did you like that? Well, I'd like to hear what you think of his thing, because you make documentaries. Like, what do you think of his style?
I think it's a little bit... I don't like reenactments, so I have a little bit of issue with that, which is a big part of some of his docs.
Like the Thin Blue Line has that in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the straight-to-camera interviews are interesting.
Right.
But it kind of makes him a character in a way that I don't love with doc making.
Right.
But I mean, I think he's a good storyteller, and I've seen a bunch of his movies and thought they were cool. And the earlier ones, like the Pet Cemetery ones,
I never saw that one.
I was turned on by that one.
Oh, didn't he also make one about the Grey
Mr.
Gardens?
Death he made.
Mr. Death was great.
Yeah.
And Grey Gardens, didn't he do that one too? Or that's the Maisel brothers?
No, that's the Maisel brothers. Yeah.
But I'll let you know, because I'm only halfway through this one. I don't know. It's like he's chronicling it from both sides, from the other people. He was a classmate of a few people, and that this Kuhn guy was the teacher at the time. He was the big thing in, say, philosophy.
Yeah.
So
there's like a New York crank thing to him.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. That guy, who kind of bothers me a little bit is the Super Size Me guy.
Yeah.
He goes like, hey, I'm going to prove that if you ate McDonald's 4,000 times a month, you would gain weight.
Well, that was the one example. He's not always that.
Okay, I didn't give a lot of examples.
Morgan Spurlock is his name, but he's one of those guys, another one of those guys who, like Michael Moore too, who fell so in love with their persona that the actual storytelling took a back seat to them a lot of the time.
Yeah. I saw that dinner movie. The dinner.
We did the whole bit.
Yeah, the Abbott and Costello
The
bit.
Man Who Came to Dinner?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And the thing I was thinking is like, that guy looks familiar to me, but I don't recognize his name. The lead, the guy who's
Monty something.
Who's like, seems like early Don Rickles.
He was playing Alexander Walcott, was the Algonquin Round Table guy.
Oh, okay. I see.
And Jimmy Durante was playing Harpo Marx, apparently, and...
I realize I haven't seen Jimmy Durante in a lot of movies. And he's hilarious. I mean, he's hilarious, but did he always play over-the-top characters? Or was it always...
No, I mean, not like that. I mean, his general persona was sort of big, but it wasn't. I mean, that was him.
Like, really?
I think he was really trying to give, like, Harpo Marx energy to that.
It was amazing. His performance was literally amazing. There was so much funny stuff in that movie, and Agnes Moorehead was in there, or I always mix it up. She's like she was the nurse.
Mary Wicks is the name of the woman who played the nurse. She
has been in other things.
She's been in a ton of stuff. I mean, I remember, like, the first thing I remembered her from, weirdly enough, as a kid, was a show called Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, which is a Sid and Marty Krofft show that she played the adult on.
She was in the movie that we watched.
But she was like in Postcards from the Edge as the grandmother, as Shirley MacLaine's mother.
I like that movie. Have we seen? We've seen it separately.
Yeah.
I also saw a movie called Conflict.
What's that?
It's I loved it. It is Humphrey Bogart as a guy who kills his wife.
Yeah. No wonder you liked it.
Because he falls in love. He hates his wife, and he falls in love with her younger sister. And it's like Sidney Greenstreet plays a psychologist who figures everything out.
Right.
And it's early Freudian.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little much at times, but it's really done well. Really done well.
It's always weird when you see a movie of that vintage and it has like actual edge to it, and it,
Well, it makes me feel like I'm an idiot because I actually used to think that's the way they talked in more fakey acting ways. They weren't as good actors back then.
Right.
That's what I used to think when I was growing up. That's just stupid. That's not true at all. Maybe the early, when you're going to the first talkies.
Yeah, the 30s were different than by the 40s.
But it wasn't because they naturally would walk around in life being, well, I guess in a way you could say that they were more rough characters but it depends on what about what they were writing about. I guess I'm thinking of the Cagney. But even that was not.
But you're thinking of people's impression of Cagney.
That's true.
More than you're thinking of Cagney.
Anyway, the bottom line is, I love Humphrey Bogart. I mean, all these people that are considered to be the greatest actors and actresses, or however you say it.
Well, they were the greatest movie stars. I mean, it was a whole separate thing that they created in large part, They defined what that was.
Yeah, and they really did. And the only one that, like, the one that we both kind of agreed we haven't loved yet is like, is it Gable or is it Gene Kelly or is it?
It was the Cary Grant,
right?
The Cary Grant screwball stuff.
I saw
I just don't love.
I saw the original movie that was based on.
Which one? The Front Page?
Yes, and it's a better movie.
Yeah.
Did you know? There's a line in the movie I tweeted. It goes, "Who threw that out the window?" Oh, it was Judge Mankiewicz. He was in here. It was like a reference. Herman Mankiewicz encouraged Ben Hecht. I'm only learning this from TCM.
Yeah.
Encouraged, and I'm not even from Ben Mankiewicz. It was from somewhere else.
Yeah.
He encouraged Ben Hecht and I guess other writers to come out and write.
Right.
So I think that he just threw the reference in there to Mankiewicz.
Yeah.
But the movie is like, when you see the tone, and they're making jokes about hangings and things, and then you get very quickly past, they hung people, to realize, they hung people, and they also had, and they didn't care about it. And it was like a spectacle.
Right.
That's just the way it was with a lot of people back then.
Right.
Man, what time is he getting? Whatever.
Right.
And the movie has so many different levels to it. I really loved it.
Well, I mean, I think, plays both The Man Who Came to Dinner and The Front Page were both plays, were both New York plays, which I think started them at a level of sophistication that could sort of only be dumbed down for movies,
Right.
But, when you start with those tight-ass scripts.
Well, the thing, too, they have those scenes in Front Page where they're going down, those tracking shots sometimes where they're walking down a whole long length of something and you see a lot of... And the idea, from what I read, too, online, was that he was Hecht was the first person to really capture what it was like to be in a newsroom, or one of the first people to... He had a partner, too, that he wrote with, some guy named Marshall, maybe? I don't know. But I felt like the Front Page, the black and white movie, captured that rawness more than that, because they switched the sex, which was good, obviously. Right. But they switched Hilda, they didn't change the name.
Right.
But the sex of the person is different in the... who plays the character? Is it Betty Davis? I don't remember, but it was in the... she's the lead in that movie.
It was Rosalind Russell.
But it didn't fit, which was all great. But the first movie felt more like... more real or more something.
Yeah.
But I would like to see the other one again now, because I think we enjoyed it, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
This was more than good. But I can't believe this. You should check into this Turner Classic Movies. It's good. So I actually did watch things, and I've been, as I've made the pact with myself to just slow down. Also, we're going to turn over, Susan and I have decided to turn over the finishing of the album to Bruce. Just who takes care of it. So, and the reason why we decided that was that he'll get it done.
Was he over this the other day?
Yes, he was over Christmas and he volunteered. I said, that is what we need to do. That's it.
I should have done that. Sorry.
I'm very sorry. I have to tell you that I should turn this on silent, but that was Steven Spielberg. Andy, I'm over here with Faye Dunaway and Jennifer Lawrence. Oh, Jennifer Lawrence is asking about you and coming immediately.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That was
a
really lame bit to go to a break with.
You know what that actually is?
What's that?
That's a joke that I cracked up my family with.
Oh, yeah.
My Aunt Charlotte, who's 85 years old, she has blockage of intestines, and thank God she's out of the hospital. They cleared up. But she insists on talking on the phone. She doesn't have email. She doesn't have an answering machine.
Yeah.
So then I spent about 20 minutes to a half hour on the joke saying, when she's home, I said, did the doctors recommend that she cut back on phone calls and, I can't. Oh, to prevent future blockages, she cut back on phone calls and take up a hobby like emailing. Big laugh in the family.
All right, well,
that's not good to go to the break.
That propelled us to the break.
What do we have for the break?
We have Andy Kindler and Jack Temkin singing "Nice Like Me."
It's a repeat?
Yeah.
I love it. Happy hoo-hoo.
Why can't everyone be nice like me? Why can't everyone be nice like me? Oh, life could be so peaceful. Oh, life could be so free. Why can't everyone nice like me? But some people seem to lose their head. Instead of being nice, well, they scream and shout instead. And you know that makes me see red and want to bash a baseball bat in their head. 'cause I don't understand, you see. Why can't everybody be nice like me? Oh, why can't everybody be nice like me? Why can't everyone be nice like me? Now when I'm at the grocery store, I stand in line. I let an old lady through, I got plenty of time. And you know it made me feel good. All the time I thought it would. I said, oh, why can't everybody be nice like me? But then at the 7-Eleven, I left my wallet at home. Guy at the counter sees me all the time, wouldn't give me a 25-cent loan. Yeah, that made me kind of pissed. I want to hit his face with a brick. Why can't everybody be nice like me? Oh, be nice like me. Just with a little effort, with a little persistence, a little patience, a little caring, they could be nice like me. They could just try a little harder, and they could be nice. They could be nice like me.
Common courtesy.
Yes, that's right.
General respect.
That's exactly what's missing from me.
I'm only asking for what's coming to me.
It wouldn't be that difficult, really. I mean,
no skin off your nose.
No big skin. That's what yeah, exactly.
What are you complaining about?
I mean, life is good for you. Why can't you just be, why can't everybody be nice like me?
Hey, get off my back.
Why can't everybody be nice like me?
Hey, get off my back. Occasionally I get angry in my car.
Well, those, yeah, but
when people cut me off and then they also hit me in the back rear side panel, and they
so treacherous and murderous.
Blow cigarette smoke in my face. Give me a fake insurance number and then
that's right.
kick me in the groin for good measure. I have to admit that gets on my nerves.
And they leave him in the street.
Why is everybody getting on my nerves?
It's just an opportunity for personal advancement. They're giving you an opportunity for personal advancement. On the karmic wheel of life, they're helping you out so you can get it right. Yeah, but why can't everybody be nice like me? It'd be easier if everybody be nice like me. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't that just be, doesn't it make sense somehow just to, and everybody be nice like me? I want to kill them when they're not nice like me. Yeah, when they're not nice like me. I Why can't everybody be nice like me?
And we're back.
Oh, my God. That was a great song.
That was a great song.
You know, I think I'm a genius in many ways. Songwriter, singer. Did I say songwriter? Singer. And all around...
Threat. You're a threat.
Threat. I'm a threat. So you also, during the break, I'm going to be honest with people and tell them that we did not listen to the song again.
We didn't.
Because we're allowed to take a break. Why are we pretending that we're coming back from the break like we listened to the song? But you did show me the final, what are those things? Trailer for, who do you think you are? No, that's another show.
Yeah. Michael Zabar, Who Do You Want Me to Be?
Who do you want to be? And I'm telling you, the trailer is a hit. And I have a feeling, and you know how wrong I'm normally are.
Yes.
I'm normally wrong. I just think this shows a time period that a lot of people know about, and covers so many different things that people know about, but that it's going to bring stuff to their knowledge, and that's going to be new. I can't explain it. New, but also it kind of fills in gaps in a way. There's no way to fill in all the gaps of music.
No.
But you fill in certain things.
Between music and television, between 1967 and present, it's amazing how he was zelligged his way in there.
And I think he's amazing that you captured him being amazing, because even that part where he goes, "Just glad to be here, man." I mean, he's a kind of
That's not what he says, but
what's that?
That's not what he says, but
he's happy to be here.
No.
What does he say? Happy to be alive.
It's about right here, right now, man.
Wait, I just heard that somewhere else in a movie. That's so weird. I just heard that on the 60 Minutes thing where they talked about people taking LSD and people taking psilocybin.
Yeah.
And this woman who had cancer, her mantra from this whole experience was right here, right now.
There you go.
Okay.
It's very Jesus Jones. Right here, right now is the one place I want to be.
Is that an 80s group?
Yeah.
And what are they called?
Jesus Jones.
How did I miss them? Where was I? Was I naked?
They had that
it was
one.
it right here, right now.
Watching the world wake up from history.
That's a good song. But I don't remember other Jesus Jones hits.
I think that was it.
That makes me sad.
I think it was a one-hit Jesus.
Because I also like Spandau Ballet, With a Pill on My Tongue.
I know this much is true. I know this much is true.
I know this much is true. With a pill on my tongue and a finger.
Oh, I want the truth to be told. All right, that's Spandau Ballet.
But I think Spandau Ballet stands up and holds up as opposed to Never Gonna Give You Love. That guy's voice, you told me he was your hero, whoever that guy was. Never Gonna Get You, but...
Well, me and the other assed heads have a problem.
Rick Astley. Do you think Rick Astley knows that he ended up a meme?
I think he's probably pretty clear on that, yes.
Yes, and he doesn't get a dime for it. That's what bothers me. Okay, we're back.
And we're back. So, do you want to go to questions since we're back?
Yeah, anyway, predict that movie is going to, people are going to love it.
That's all.
I keep forgetting that no one's seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all fresh. Let's not talk about the fact that it's not fresh.
Why? Because it took you a while to make it? Wait till my album comes out.
That's right. It's about the same vintage.
No, it's not going to be like, why do those people have long hair? Who wants to watch a documentary like CNN's doing with yesterday, the day before, movies, books, cooking. CNN looks at shoes wearing.
Shoes wearing.
Please go.
And we'll be back after these messages from
Please go, Shark Tank.
Please Go Shark Tank.
That's good.
And we're back. Tonight on Please Go Shark Tank, we have Billy. I am making an amusement park where aliens can come and you should get in on the ground floor. And Timmy, I made a car that's also a swimming pool and a place to get snacks.
All tonight.
On Preschool Shark Tank. All right.
Right here.
Let's start with apparent birthday boy. Yo.
Yoshi, 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 Yamamoto. Mamato. Yoshi. Yoshi, Yamamoto. Yamato. Yashamado.
It's my 37th birthday on the East Coast. Thanks, you guys, for all the energy you put in, Adderall and non, every week, along with the beautiful evolution of my theme song. There you go. Apologies for sounding like Trump here. Love you guys. Happy birthday, Yoshi Yamamoto.
Happy birthday, Yoshi, 37.
Apparently, he thought it would make him a young man. Anything but.
I don't know. He sounds like exactly in the pocket of the age that I would want to be. I want to be Yoshi Yamamoto's age. 37. You're not 40. This isn't your father's 35. He is ready to, he's in the prime of his life.
He is in a sweet spot.
But nobody ever thinks they're in the prime of their life. Everybody when you're 37.
We always piss him away, don't we?
Well, I'm really close to death. So, pretending any other way. Guilty. Wait, do you think somebody ever, by mistake, said guilty like that? Guilty. What did you look outside
If
for?
making me say a word funny is a crime, then guilty.
How do you plead? I plead
guilty, Your Honor. Lock me up.
Is that like a Charles? That's not Charles Nelson.
It was a conglomeration of all the flamboyant overactors.
Alan Seuss.
Alan Seuss was in there. Seth Dick III says, Andy, have you seen Star Wars?
No, but I'm fascinated by it because I got to see I don't like to name.
Okay, because he was assuming you were going to lie, because his next thing was, how does it end? I'm skeptical you've seen any classic films after the Zuzu debacle.
Oh, are you talking about the original Star Wars?
Yes.
Of course I've seen the original.
How does it end?
I've seen, I've seen all three of the first three movies.
Okay, but how does Star Wars end?
It ends with, I know exactly how it ends. You goddamn apes. you blow it, you goddamn dummies. Goddamn, why is the Statue of Liberty here? Sticking out. It ends
in your face, Seth Dick III. You've seen it clearly.
Okay, well, what's the name of it? Give me a clue. What's the name of the second one? The Empire Strikes Back?
Yes.
You think they found you think that they found the evil guy and you think he's dead. And I think the evil guy's Darth Vader.
The evil guy is Darth Vader.
And we think he's dead. He fell into, you know how those quicksand movies? It's like that. I don't remember how it ended. Did it end like this? Sulu. Put it on your face.
Spicy.
Put your faces on spicy. I don't know how it ended.
Okay.
But I did see it.
They blew up the Death Star and then everyone got a medal.
Who would remember that end?
Who would remember the blowing up of the Death Star? Maybe Zuzu?
Who's Zuzu? Is that Joe Azuzu?
You did this again. This is the second exact time you went to Joe Azuzu.
I can't hear you say Zuzu one more time without knowing what you... I can't take one more minute of me.
It's a Wonderful Life.
There's no Zuzu in that. Is he a cook in one of the scenes?
I'm not doing this sketch again. The addle-brained fucking...
Hello, Bannister that comes off. Stop, Barry, would you stop your horrible violin playing? Barry, you stink at the piano. I wish you had never been born, Mary. Mary, you stupid.
Is her name Mary? Or
You
is that
did this before, too.
I know, but what's the name of the daughter, though? Shut up, Roseanne. Go ahead.
Zuzu's the most important daughter.
Zuzu, every time a Every time somebody gets a cold, another one gets their wings. That's Zuzu?
An angel gets a Kleenex, yes.
You're right, Zuzu.
That's right.
That's right. Didn't somebody in that movie say to somebody else, and you said I was there's something about it, I can't remember it. It's like you said that I was old man.
Do you want it? Do you
Yes,
want it
I do.
really?
I
For
need it.
real?
I need
Okay.
it. Like I want to.
You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. What are you but a warped, frustrated young man? Miserable little clerk crawling in on your hands and knees with nothing but a $500 equity in a life insurance policy. Well, you're worth more dead than alive.
And he's the bad guy in the movie, right?
No.
Oh,
No, he's the daughter.
he's the daughter. Beep beep beep. Bye, folks. Put it to bed for another year. Soon it'll be Christmas again, and it'll be.
And Happy New Year to you in jail.
Happy New Year to you. Maybe we should switch to a Christmas story.
I can't. We'll put our eye out.
I do enjoy Fragile. It's still one of my favorite lines.
Yeah.
Fragile.
Carrie Whedon says, surrounded by fire here in Australia.
Oh, I heard about that.
That's no good. Thanks for being there every Monday. You guys bring me much joy. Looking forward to many more Mondays of spiraling in 2020.
Thank you, and I hope that
Stay safe.
And you too over there, because I love koala bears. It breaks my heart when I see those koala bears.
Oh, come on. There's people as well.
I don't care about people.
There's Carrie Whedon surrounded by fire. And you're
Look.
talking about.
They're people. That's fine.
They look like people.
They
but they're
look
not. They're koala bears.
Oh, by the way, Case Fire was named one of the top 5.
Case Files was named one of the top 5 podcasts in the crime and yoga pant categories. Thank you to everybody who brought us this great honor.
You know what he's doing now? Say by day. From all. Say by day with terpenes.
It looks like real marijuana, but it's not. It's CBD.
Say by day. Everything, seriously, everything all of a sudden overnight has turned into CBD.
Yeah.
In Costco or whatever, they got it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. Michelle Weiscarver says, wishing you good gentlemen a very happy and prosperous new year with lots of stand-up gigs, a Michael Depar documentary, and movie roles galore. Thank you for making us laugh every week for 139 straight weeks. It's been a joy.
Well, thank you for assuming that next week is going to be good.
Yes.
I mean, tonight. Thank you, Michelle. I don't think we could do it without you.
We could, but what would be the point?
That was my point.
Otherwise, Blameless says, just wanted to give you guys a wise carver, or in other words, a thank you for another year of fine, thought-provoking entertainment.
I wonder what
I hate to think what the thoughts that were provoking are, but I'm glad.
is now. You know how like if you're named blacksmith, you're the son of a blacksmith. Is wise carver? What does that mean? That you came from a family of people who carve?
Yeah, smart butchers.
Smart butchers. Hey, what's the matter? You people don't know Michelle Weiscarver? I get angry at the crowd for not knowing the references. Oh, because you don't know who Patented Phil is, I gotta pay. That guy, I already told you I saw him with Mark Levin. I did, right? On the Fox News.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
interviewing him on the Fox News channel. Oh my God. He's doubling down on his love for Trump. Get every pillow. In every pillow, I give $50 to a baby to be snatched from its mother. Every time you buy a My Pillow. I can't do the voice or the joke. And first of all, that's saying there was a joke.
Baby snatched from their mothers is always fertile ground.
But his stuff's in CVS. So I don't think,
My stuff's at every store in the nation. Anywhere where you buy pillows or sheets or anything else like a bed topper, I'm there.
Macy's?
Look, there's a cardboard cutout of my big fucking face right there waiting for you to take a picture and tag Josh.
I'm a terrible person. I had a problem like crack or something, and I turned into a horrible human being on the other side by supporting a Nazi.
I turned crack into crack aid.
Right. Now buy My Pillow and get out of my country.
This is my country.
It's made right here in my home state of Minnesota. I won't say by who or by if they have any cards that might have...
Nobody from Nigeria. What are the countries that come to Minneapolis?
There are many Somalians, or Somalis, as they like to be called.
No, isn't the anti-Somali? No Somalis. No Somalis work in my factories. Because I hate people based on race. And also, it's 100% guaranteed.
The only Africans are the Egyptians that make my cotton.
I love the idea of him turning into the Jews are responsible for world
I make
banking.
a pillow even a Jew could love.
It'll make you say, "Whoa, dirty!" I couldn't figure it out. Even a Jew could like it. Oh my God! I know I fucked up. I just love the idea.
You froze up right there. You were trying to make light of my business, and then you froze up like a Jew.
Who else could he be against that? He goes, anybody. I make my pillows for everybody. That's a hard accent to do.
I make my pillows for everybody,
but
except if you're
the Japanese. The Japanese, so I still don't forgive for World War II. Also, Mexicans. I don't like my cotton's Egyptian cotton.
What are you?
Okay, go to the next one. Go to the next one. Come on, Chacho.
Like the My Pillow leprechaun.
Come on, Chacho. I've been here since 7:30, Chacho.
Stand by your man says, after finally getting over my Dylan Doc anxiety, it's been wonderful hearing you fellas again. I think it'll get all the way up to TS-127 before the ball drops. Love you guys. Love all you spiralers, and may we all prosper in 2020.
I'm with you on that one. I want to use this more in 2020. From your mouth to God's ears.
From your lips to God's ears.
The racism is washable. My racism is 100% washable. He's a racist is the joke.
I understood the joke.
I want everybody to have a good night.
I don't hear Jews talking.
I want to have everybody.
I see you moving your lips, but I don't hear. All I hear is...
I would like...
That's all I hear.
I'd like to have...
I hear a horror.
I want everybody to have a good night's sleep and get all the dirty Jews out of the country.
It's the one thing you can't machine wash. The dirty Jew.
The Bolsheviks. The Jew Bolsheviks.
We're having fun with hate crimes here tonight.
And then, now, sir, do you have problems sleeping? Yeah, I can. Well, because you're a Jew. You feel guilty.
Maybe if you hadn't to killed Jesus, you wouldn't feel so guilty at night.
Oh, God. Oh. Well, lay me down in the sack. I'm going to take out a Kleenex so you can riff. 65 degrees downtown Los Angeles. We're going to be blowing our nose soon. Oh, God, that is some of the best stuff I've ever heard. I am just fascinated by someone who would become more fascist and also equally ambitious about getting more customers.
Sous Vide says, A Star is Born with James Mason and Judy Garland is on TCM.
That can't be true.
At Christmas dinner, my uncle's dog Walker Felix said Mason introduced cotton candy grapes to Garland, who must have given them to Liza.
I'm so confused by the reference.
Hollywood fact or fiction? It's fiction.
Is that
cotton
how you get
candy
out
grapes
of it?
are a modern innovation. My mom would have loved the cotton candy grapes, but God bless her, she took too many pills.
Do you know how many times, God bless her, do you have to take Judy Garland down? Leave her out of our cotton candy grape bit. Cotton candy grapes.
Dana Schwartz says this is, I had posted that this is the final spiral of the decade.
Oh, my
Dana
God.
Schwartz says this is the first spiral of the next decade, and that really brings up a whole ontological question of when does the spiral occur.
Can you tell me what...
I believe the spiral happens now. I believe the spiral is happening between us in the room, and the podcast is a record of the spiral. Dana seems to think the recording is the spiral.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I may stick with you, but can you tell me what ontological means? I don't have to look it up.
I don't know. I think I
well, because you were being tautological.
I Norm Crosby did.
Do you know what's amazing is that in the old days, I didn't look things up, and now it couldn't be easier to look things up, and it still takes me a long time. And so, like, I knew as soon as you said ontological that I could look it up.
Yeah.
But then why not just arrest your momentum?
But actually, I was fairly correct. Relating to the branch of metaphysics dealing with the nature of being. So it was about the nature of the being of the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Showing the relations between the concepts and categories in a subject area or domain. Yeah. I used it correctly.
Well, you're a smart person. I'm the dummy of the two. Call me dummy. Hey, dummy.
I'm not the dummy. You're the dummy.
You be the dummy.
I'm not the dummy.
Dummy, put me in the box. Oh, don't get. You know why I don't want to go? I can't hear you.
Oh, over the box.
You know why I don't want you to put me in the box? Splinters. Remember when Splinters jokes were big with dummies?
Yes.
Now, Ahmed the dead terrorist. Why are you so anti? Seems like you're anti-Islamic.
I'm against racism. I'm a terrorist against racism.
It sounds though like you're doing the terrorist.
No, I'm against the racism. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're making fun of a specific group of people.
How could you say that? I'm a warrior against the racism.
Yeah, but people will think you're making like you're just making fun.
Then I will blow them up.
We woke up your wife. Oh, this was great. Oh, this is the best. Oh my God, this is. I'm ready for a letdown next year. Now we're going on such a high note.
Time Bandit. Time spelled like the herb. Will I ever hear Andy on David Feldman's podcast? He enjoys talking politics with other comedians. For some reason, in my imagination, David and Andy used to know each other, but are now on the outs.
No, we're not on the outs.
What's the reality? Just curious. Happy New Year. Best wishes for 2020.
Oh, no, we're excellent friends. We probably disagree on some political stuff, but every time he challenges me, it's all a joke. It's always a joke.
Yeah.
So, no, we actually get along great. I've been on his show many times. And I love him. And you love him, too.
I do.
And he's a little crazy.
A little crazy.
But I don't think he's a funnier person in the world.
I also like how his show makes ours seem short.
I'm high. I took Adderall at 8:30, and it's kicking in.
He's trying to feel the tingle.
Yeah. And tell them what happened one night after the podcast. It was 11 o'clock at night. And you see me take a pill.
I go, what did you
routinely
say?
take a pill?
Just routinely take a pill,
yeah.
Yes.
You said,
as if like your timer went off.
Right. And you go, what is that?
I said, what did you say?
I'm taking Adderall. It's 11, and then you wonder.
I was like, why are you taking Adderall?
And then you wonder why you're late to things.
I have trouble sleeping.
I don't like to sleep. Every time I take Adderall, I can't sleep at 11. I'll take it at 10.
Don't make me go to sleep and think of Christmas.
Give it a shot. Mommy,
So you didn't hang those up?
No, we didn't hang them. We don't have a fireplace anymore. Well, I did put them in a frame.
Oh, you did have a fireplace.
I do. I have two of them. Idiot. They're things like they go.
Tomorrow's the 1 year anniversary of the time I was at your house.
Oh my God. Have you still not been back inside? Oh, okay.
No.
Because we got rid of the pet tiger. Oh my God, you looked at me with disgust. Or just general disgust. Wasn't that your rank in the Navy?
Yes, that was the Navy.
No, there's no generals in the Navy, right? Admiral. Hello, Admiral. Something's wrong with me. But I'm peaking at the right time.
That's good. The end. Joe says, Andy will love this. When I grew up, I assumed that the Simon Bar Sinister voice was supposed to be Lionel Barrymore. I was correct. See Underdog Wiki. Yes. So, Andy, can you do You Once Called Me, and you can do I Shrunk All the Lakes in the World, and you might understand.
Okay.
You once called me a frustrated old man. I'm going to take all the lakes in the world and shrink them into little jars. Simon says shrink. Underdog.
Oh, my God. You have a lot. You are a regular voice meister.
Yes. But you still don't know who Simon Bar Sinister is.
I think it's from Underdog. I think it's the villain from Underdog.
Okay. Yeah.
All I know is this. Have no fear, of course. Underdog is here.
When Polly's in trouble, I am not slow. It's hip, 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 and away I go.
Will I enjoy this?
I feel fine when I sit down. When I stand up, things spin around.
Will I enjoy this as an adult?
No.
Okay.
Except for... I'm going to take all the cartoons in the world and shrink them onto your Hulu device.
And you said I was in those boom.
Phony Beatlemania says this year's holiday melancholy featured memories of 1980. I graduated from college in May, John Lennon was dead, and Ronald Reagan was about to take office. Can we afford another shitty decade right now?
Well, first of all, I want to say to you that I feel very close to this person because that I graduated in 78. He graduated in 80. And I remember John Lennon dying. It was the end of my life at the time. And
78 was college?
78 was college. Okay. What is he saying?
I'm just asking.
Oh. And Phony Beatlemania is from the Clash song, London Calling.
Uh-huh.
Phony Beatlemania is bitten the dust. Don't look at me like you know something I don't know. Or you already know it, so don't tell you. Or don't look at me at all in ways in which I will interpret negatively.
Okay.
I give up.
Yeah, I was just looking at you like, okay, you've done this the last 2 times we've seen this name and told me the Clash song thing.
Well, that's why don't you say it's just it's another one of your repeating things. But no, I do relate to him generationally, and that makes sense. But I think that felt worse to me. I don't know why. It's more dangerous now. But that felt worse to me when Lennon got killed.
Well, that was a different... the thing about Reagan was that there was just that whole nuclear war feeling that came along with that.
And so, but this guy even more, I'm worried about nuclear war. Hey, did I ever tell you that Phony Beatlemania, that guy's account, it was reminiscent of the Clash song? Is that you both sleeping and smoking a bomb?
Me snoring through a bomb.
I like that.
Tom the Tom Tom says, Happy New Year. Thanks for the entertainment. Thank you, Tom Tom.
Thank you, Tom Tom.
Dan Marsh says, when comedy was booming in the 80s, a lot of people didn't see the end of the bubble coming. Obviously, the internet changes things, and maybe the average comedian is better these days, but are we in a new bubble? And if so, what happens when it bursts? I'm on record as saying I believe we are towards the end of a new bubble.
You mean like there's just too much stand-up?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I just feel, I felt it in crowds. It's sort of the next wave is starting to come into the clubs that I've been in the past year. It doesn't feel like it
doesn't feel like there's a big boom. I guess that's why, isn't a boom bubble relate to a bubble?
Well, there is though. There's probably 120 specials on
that's
Netflix
true. That
right
is true.
now, and
yeah.
There's,
Yeah, I you know what's weird? It's so great to be part of, since I grew up in the time period where it was really got terrible stand-up and was really considered a joke by the time the boom exploded. It doesn't feel like that now, like it's but I guess it is oversaturated.
I think so. I think the thing that's different is that I don't feel like there's part of the thing that made the bust happen in the 90s was that there was 5 rooms in a medium-sized town.
Right.
And that
too much.
It didn't rebuild to that point this time around.
No, and also the structure I don't think could last forever necessarily of the all comedy club.
I think that the other difference now is that comics have fans.
True. Absolutely.
And the 80s comedy boom was built more on, we're going to the comedy club tonight. We don't know who we're seeing.
And I also think that the problem is never changing, which is nobody, like, I'm not going to make money. The worst is for musicians, but it's not as bad for comics. But the idea that I'm going to make money selling CDs, in stores, those days are over. So it always just seemed like you're trying to come up with different ways of making money. So it does seem like it's never been harder to make money in a way, but it's also more opportunities to make money. So I don't really know what I'm saying.
I think there's more room for, I think there's more comedy stars now than there were. because of those people who have built their own audiences through podcasts or whatever. There's more of those people, and those are the people I think, who aren't going to fall.
Yeah, like Gaffigan and those groups of people.
Yeah,
or
I mean, their floor is still a pretty good place.
Right. Well, there's always things shaking out, but there's so much ways to find things now that I think it's different now than it was when the Beatles were, in some way the whole world took over the whole world in a way. Not really. I'm exaggerating. But now there are so many great things out there, but they're dispersed out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Beatles came at you through 3 TV networks and 3 radio stations in your town that would have played the Beatles, And so it's like everyone was going to be a part of that.
So it'll never be quite like that again, probably, but who knows, right? Well, I'm wondering, there has to be another Richard Pryor. There has to be another Beatles. There's probably right now in every life you could think of who are, but the phenomenon is different from the art part of it. Like, what am I saying? Well, to me, I grew up with Beatlemania.
Yeah, I mean, no, there won't be another Beatlemania.
Right. Unless it's
because
the Nazis of something kind.
Right. I mean, but there isn't a, there's a lot of Beatlemanias now.
And also music will never.
And you aren't seeing any of them because they're all so cordoned off from what you're looking at. And,
yeah.
Well,
that's the idea of, like, just on a selfish way. Like
these K-pop groups have Beatlemania-like following.
Right. And is that Korean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's so
different.
Well, and it's also just, like, not in our sphere at all,
Right. Well, that's the thing, like, on the very selfish way, how do I get people to see me in clubs? I still haven't figured out a way to do that. Now, maybe they wouldn't come out, but I still think there's some kind of a missing...
Well, YouTube is what people use to really, and you haven't done a big...
Casanova Frankenstein has.
Yeah, he's done all your podcast stuff.
Is that what he's put together?
It's not like you've put stand-up on and...
Oh. Do you have a YouTube, John?
I do, yeah.
How are we doing?
It's not, not that great, but there's some stuff on there.
Why was my first thing I wasn't really going to do this. It was like, let me mock what you're doing. No, because I always feel like, how do you stand out in any format? And Twitter annoys me in that way, except I love Twitter and it's no skin off my nose.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily bring people out all the time.
No, I've just accepted that I have extremely limited appeal. And
no, you don't, because you don't realize that first of all, you're spreading your appeal out over different areas.
I am.
You are an actual threat. I'm a threat in an annoying way. You actually are a threat. How many things have I directed?
None.
Exactly. Why am I on trial?
No, I don't know. It was a weird year because it's like, on one level, I'm like very proud of myself in terms of like,
yes,
product generation.
You've done a lot,
and actually putting myself as talent this year, But I also have this really distinct, no one gives a shit feeling about it all too.
So I think that you have a thing that's very Zen, like could be. I think we would both help with meaningful meditation of some kind, mindful meditation of some kind, because you do have a thing of that's almost OCD of it's never enough, but a lot of it's too is like you'd like more money, you'd like to make a living. You know what I mean? Like it's all reasonable stuff that you're concerned about.
Right.
Mine gets more into, but if you looked at this year, right?
Yeah.
Look at what you've done. You've done great things, but you do feel like you have an argument with yourself, I think, about how much you've done.
I do, because I feel like, and most of the time I think I keep it in check, which is I feel like, it is important to sort of pat yourself on the back as opposed to berating yourself constantly. But I also feel like once I've patted myself on the back, that has no more use. Like patting myself on the back continuously.
Oh,
doesn't give me satisfaction because the other voice starts going, okay, but what are you doing now?
So I think true happiness, I'm just speaking philosophically, not even relating it to you. True happiness for me, I feel like one thing that Peter Shadal said, was, the art critic, he said like he considers all art contemporary art. He came to that conclusion because it's all the current eyes that are looking at the art are the current eyes that are evaluating it. And that's all there ever is, people looking at Van Gogh and having their opinions about Van Gogh, and Van Gogh is dead. So, like, I think that the non-attachment thing is very hard for us to, instead of saying, what does it all mean? Like say, oh, what's the next thing I can do that's fun? But that's maybe Pollyannish that I want you to go, oh, it's fun.
Right. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think the one thing about this past decade, let's say, since it's nice and cleanly over, I made a definite decision just previous to this decade of like, I got to make some stuff. I have to, and it has to be my stuff. It can't just be.
I mean, during this current decade?
Yeah. That I'm closing out now. Where I was 10 years ago was more frustrated by, I had done 3 pilots, none of them made it to series, and, or even to pilot, they were just scripts I got paid to write, essentially, so that got frustrating, and being on staffs was frustrating to me, because it was, aside from the routine aspect of it, it was also just like, I'm making someone else's vision come to life,
Right.
And so, now that I've made some stuff in my name, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better for having accomplished those things that I thought I was going to do and hadn't yet. But I had to sort of take it in my own hands to do those things. That was the choice of like, I'm not going to just keep asking people for permission to make things, because you can pass a whole life that way.
Right. Or you could have made, I think I always think of the major decision you made, which was extremely brave, was like, I'm not going to go on with this show that I'm writing for.
Right.
Even though the money would be great.
Right.
And so I've always had problems when the money starts to run out. I've always been very hard on myself and all, but I've lost some of that. Because some of it's OCD based and some of it's reality based.
And also the money doesn't have to last as long now.
Why is that?
Because you're old.
No, you know it. I mean, it's a fact. I know that I'm 2 years away from 2 pensions.
Right.
I'm thrilled about it. But also realizing that all these years, 90% of my anxiety is self-generated.
Right.
That's the lucky part for me, is that there are things I can do about what bothers me.
If you were to stop generating anxiety, you'd have a very nice life.
Yeah, it's not like I get anything. I don't get anything from it.
There are some people who have 90% anxiety in their life, and then if they were to stop that, they'd still couldn't pay rent or feed their family.
And also, sometimes
their stress is earned, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, or sometimes the anxiety is yes, and also, but the thing is, I have felt like 2 weeks from being homeless my whole life, unrealistically,
right?
And so, and I know it's not like being homeless, but my whole life I've always worried. Since by definition, neither one of us got in a job where there was a salary involved and there was advancement after, from a younger age.
Right.
I'm not saying that's even a normal life, but I've never had that. So, and never having dealt with my anxiety, it made me kind of an anxious mess. But now that I realize that there really is, there really isn't, Ram Dass passed away and, he kept saying his be here now was real. It's like, there really is only now. And so I found that so important to me, because to not get ahead of myself with all the anxiety and stuff, but you're not me, and so you have the right to be restless. I one of my problems in life is always trying to solve other people's problems, but it's kind of selfish, because it's like, I didn't want him to be sad, and he should be more positive.
Right.
And I gotta be the Tony Robbins guy who. That's not helpful all the time.
Well, as I've said, pep talks aren't exactly they aren't my tonic.
I want you to get back in there, kid.
But, but I don't, I think I basically consider myself to have a starkly realistic view of my place. And I think people think that that's more of a lament than it really is. All of what I have is the result of my choices, and my decisions as to what's important to me and what's,
Right.
But once in a while, you also sort of size it up and go, yeah, I'm doing good stuff, and no one gives a shit.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that because I again, my reflex is to go, you shouldn't. But the thing is, I guess it's more like you didn't know that thing was going to come from Bullseye, right?
No, and that was great.
So
it made me feel good,
right? And I think that you should be open.
I still have those needs.
I think you should be open to the fact that it is your stuff is having an effect on the
maybe
world.
So. Here's what it really is that I made a conscious or unconscious decision, but clearly made the decision that I just can't operate in a results-oriented space when it comes to this stuff.
That is...
the success and failure has to be based on, am I proud of this thing? And so once that's over, then the rest of it is all stuff that I just have to get through.
I think that's the point I was going to make was... Aren't you, like I was going to say, aren't you proud of this podcast?
Absolutely.
This would not be a podcast if you didn't want to do it. There would be no podcast.
Right. No, and I am, And anytime I make something and put it out in the world and I'm not embarrassed by it, I'm proud of myself for doing that. Because I feel like that's the one mission I have in life.
And I feel like a lot of my stuff is self-generated in the sense that there'll be so many times when I'll go out on the road and I won't draw, whatever it is, or go to the improv, no one's there. It's like... It's my choice sometimes to go, I'm never going to be bigger than this or whatever the ego thing I want to get. But most of the time, they're not even, the club owners are less worried about, how many people came out.
Right.
So it really, it's like, do I really care if it's, packed? I really don't. I just want to make sure everybody does okay and all these OCD things. But the idea that if we're doing this podcast and that we're learning something from it and enjoying it, it is really creating something that's out there to be proud of that I never thought I would have done something like this, and I still find it hard sometimes. Obviously, it's not easy
hard sometimes, but it's I let the best thing even on a shitty week. I appreciate the gesture to the universe that putting something out once a week is.
I think it's a cool thing because, so much of what I want is like, did I cut you off?
No.
So much of what I want in life is like, I remember that time period when Tom Snyder was on the air and just was a time period in my life where I loved to listen to him every night. And he'd say stupid things, but it just felt like that connection of where you have the Tonight Show or where you have this. I think people get those things. I'm not comparing us to Johnny Carson, but I think people get those from that's what I get from podcasts.
Right.
And it's a way to change my mind and it's a way to hear other things. And I think there's a lot of times where I just I try to just forget all the things about, do people still like it or whatever the thing is?
Right.
I try even to let everything go. I'm just doing it and I'm still enjoying it. And there's 140 of them or soon.
All right. Yeah, there's a lot. We've done a lot.
Enough of my yapping.
Let's go to Not Tweet Bahara. Andy, is it too soon to maybe start talking to Moon Tower Comedy about doing the Spiral Live during the festival? Prush and I will be in the front row. Don't.
I say no. I think the way to do it is to say, I would think it would be cool if you were up in Montreal and we were writing up there.
Yeah.
Might make the speech, be a better way to do the speech. So,
right.
I think if I ask her,
I could open for you too.
And I'm at right. Oh, for the
speech.
Oh, you can introduce me.
Yeah.
How much time do you want to do in the beginning?
A minute.
No, you can do 5 minutes.
Is it spicy? Please welcome.
How you do it?
Is it spicy?
Can you say really mean things about me?
Yes, that's
right.
That's what everyone's supposed to do, right?
And that I just realized that's a whole different set of people. So yes, I think we both agree that if something doesn't happen the first time and I've asked, going back the second time, I could.
You could, but I don't want to be humiliated again, really.
Well, it's just humiliating for you.
Exactly. This might have gotten cut from last week, but I love Please Go Shark Tank. I hear next season the judges will be Gregory Peck, James Mason, Foster Brooks, Lou Costello, Hugh Hauser, Liza Minnelli, Lucia Ballin. Sheesh, us listeners sure are demanding jerks. No impressions needed. Thanks for a great year.
I say pick one of them.
From John Kovaleski, cartoonist.
Thank you, John. That's a high praise. Do one of those people from that show.
I'm not going to do one of the people.
Just one.
I'm not going to do one. You can't make me do one.
For preschool Shark Tank, you wouldn't do it?
I'm a bad boy.
And
I'm preschool Shark Tank. Mark Thompson says, Josh and Andy, do you remember the first movie you ever saw in a theater? Maybe Walt Disney's Robin Hood.
I think mine was Walt Disney's too, but I don't remember what.
And then, of course, I've mentioned Young Frankenstein much too soon after that.
But I didn't have a childhood of like these people who went to the movies all the time. Did you go all the time?
No, but I do. If I had to guess at first, that's my first memory. I think of it in a theater is that movie.
Well, I think it was a Disney movie for me too. I mean, I've told the story too many times about seeing A Miracle Worker. My parents took me when I was like 5.
Yeah,
and they didn't. They thought it was a Disney film, and
right.
It literally scared me to death.
Well, I think it scared me the same way that Putting on the Ritz scared me. Wild Foxes Are Judging You says, why is there not a social app called Smire? It could have the slogan, where there's folk, there's Smire. It would make $1 billion. Well, not dollars, but there'd be $1 billion something, probably.
How come I don't even get it?
Where there's folk, there's Smire?
But what's Smire?
Where there's smoke, there's fire? That's what it's going for.
When there's folk, but he changed it to Smire.
Right. Boy, you're fun.
Oh, you have a fun more. Did I
endorse it as a
did
joke?
I say you did?
Did I back it?
Maybe we could get into this kind of.
Mr. Weinstein, I insist that you come in here right now and...
What do you want?
Please write a sketch
What
for
don't
us.
you understand now, Mr. Kindler?
Mr. Weinstein, it has come to my attention that we have not done a funny Mr. Weinstein sketch in over a year.
It's been eons.
At least a year.
At least.
Before you dot another I, Mr. Weinstein, you come back to this office with a bit.
Will do, sir. And a Happy New Year to you.
And a Happy New Year to you. Sadly, that's the funniest one I've done in many months.
Larry Harold says, Happy New Year, you old building it alone. Is there a song you will turn off every time you hear it until the end of time? Mine's Afternoon Delight. Okay, that's a really old song. Then it's Having My Baby. Yours?
Both those are terrible songs that had never gotten better. Yaka seppa dooba daka shming dang 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 dooba deepa deepa doopa doo doo doo. I don't like They're Coming to Take Me Away.
Ha hee hee, ho ho.
Yeah,
ho, ho.
it just makes me nervous.
Napoleon the 23rd?
That's who wrote it? Who sang it?
Yeah.
What was his other hits?
They Took Me Away. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ee.
I don't like the kid.
I'd like to come back now. Badaboo, badaboo, badaboo.
You know, I'm sorry for the thing.
Hey, did you miss me? Ha-hunga, ha-hunga, ha-hunga.
I also don't like the Witch Doctor. It helped me what to do. Cha-cha-cha-cha. It's very impressive.
I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. He said,
Is that recorded Chipmunk style, or is it recorded the way you did it?
Chipmunk style,
Thank
I believe. They didn't have the skill set.
Ooh. All right. I think in about 5, if you do 2 more minutes. What was that?
I don't know.
Okay, good.
Zethik the Third says, R.I.P. Sue Lyon. Will she be included in the death montage at the Academy Awards? Have to think yes because of the iconic role. What say you, James Mason?
I don't know who Sue Lyons is.
She was Lolita. A bubble of poison in my loins. A speck of beauty in a world full of shit. And now she's gone.
Oh. You didn't help.
Perhaps I wasn't the best influence on her.
Because he was lecherous. Right?
Well, some may say lecherous, some may say love.
How old was Lolita in the movie?
I believe she was 14.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
A
Then.
lady.
Yeah, yes. I
young
was
lady,
afraid she was too
indeed.
young. And we'll be back with the most inappropriate British-sounding bits. How old is your girlfriend currently? 12?
Well, it's not. It wasn't. It was a Russian novelist.
Oh, that's true. So it's all, was that Nabokov in that book by Nabokov?
It was that book by Nabokov.
So don't stand so. Don't stand so.
I start to shake and cough.
Yes.
Yes, just like me.
You know, that was, I thought that was written by a Jewish guy. Don't stand so. Don't stand so. Don't stand so close to me.
That works with every song if you say it like that.
I know it does, which is why I'm
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light.
But you will admit that this one is halfway clever. My Jewish,
I hope that somebody gets my SOS.
my Jewish version of Godzilla.
Yes.
That requires some. Why are you going to go trample Tokyo without a nice meal, Godzilla? That's clever.
That's linguistic comedy is what that is. A.D. Morgan cites someone else's statement and makes it a question by someone named Rob Braslin said, in the next decade there will be a Red Hot Chili Peppers musical and nothing can stop it.
I think that's true.
A.D. Morgan says, his question, is that true?
I think so.
Could be.
I didn't even know Cats, anything about Cats. That it was a thing or that it was anything. I thought the whole thing was a joke, and now it's a movie. And is it still
What
a
do
joke?
you mean you thought the whole thing was a joke?
I didn't realize there was no dialogue in it.
There is dialogue.
Not in the play, right?
Well, it's a lot of singing.
Later tonight, I'm going to hit the alley. I'm an alley cat. Boop, boop.
These are 30-year-old jokes. It's Cats. It was a huge fucking hit.
Hey, what's the deal with this Cats?
Now do the thing about KATZ.
There'll be nothing more embarrassing than me reading your comment about a Jim Belushi joke as the joke. It's been off the air for 10 years. Oh my God! That's where
the same thing. It's like saying it's Jewish. It's been off the air for 10 years. Ah.
That's when I really should look into something. And when you say things like that,
That was the greatest, man.
I don't know. The show's been off for 10 years.
It says it right here.
So stupid. According to Jim, punchlines aren't important.
Don't read the things in parentheses. Bruce sent a picture of Cafe Domingo with Andy Kindler from the Republic of Domingo. Oh, no, that's not Ed Sullivan.
It's
Republic of Domingo.
Right. And Roberto del Bison of Peru. This is how it goes out. That's right? That's how they build them.
A.D. Morgan also with fire news. Hi, fellows. No question. Just giving you the heads up that you might experience a drop in listeners from mainland Australia. This situation right up the East Coast, and we're barely a month into summer, and there's horrible fire.
Oh, man. I just can't believe it. This is a global warming thing, probably.
Hard to say, but
it's not good.
All this extreme weather.
All of our love to our how many Australian listeners do we have?
I don't have those figures in front of me right now.
Have you ever had those figures in front of you?
I could get those figures in front of me.
What would
Do you want me to look? Do you want me to look?
Sure.
All right.
Nobody looks quicker than you.
Well, nobody edits out the time.
Better than you.
Better than me. We've had 742 in New South Wales. We've had 645 in Victoria. We've had 183 in South Australia. We've had 383 in Western Australia. 77 in Queensland.
I love this. Is what I'm talking about. I know you're going to mock. You're not mocking it, but here's my point. All you know, when a podcast like hits big, sometimes they hit big because it was for a reason that is nothing within our control, and hitting big, even if it was hitting big, it's still a relative term with
those
podcasts.
are actual downloads, though. Those weren't listeners.
Don't strain on my stupid comments. Jesus Christ. Nobody lets me say stupid things anymore without pointing. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad people are, I think it's a good market for us.
Well, I'm glad that there was at least double digits in each
That's
province.
what I'm so excited about.
Yes.
Hey, Australia, if you don't keep up, if you don't pick it up, I'm not going to be so concerned about the fires. Is that a good?
That's not cool.
That's a bad pitch?
That's not cool.
And not a good pitch.
I would like to apologize on behalf of Andy Kindler and the entire Thought Spiral organization.
Have people died
Probably.
from the fires?
Yeah.
Is that so? Does that okay? Let's stop. I'm stopping now. I mean the whole podcast.
Okay.
Not with these fires.
Happy New Year, everybody.
I love
headed
you.
Out the door.
I love
If
you, Josh.
If you want to get a hold of us during the week, write us at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
I love you, J. Elvis Weinstein.
I have so much more, Andy.
Okay,
Please.
stay
At the
then.
end of
And
the
I
year,
want to
stop.
close with that, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to close with a
All right.
tearful goodbye.
The last
okay,
thing you
do-
will hear tonight is I love you, J. Elvis Weinstein.
No, I have other things too.
Okay.
But go ahead.
All right. If you can't make an agreement. Then
I make an agreement.
All right.
That's all I'll say.
Okay. Buy my album Chunks. It'll be the end of me promoting that before I move on to heavily promoting Michael DeBar, Who Do You Want Me to Be, early next year. Andy is doing Pantomime. Buy his new Pantomime DVD.
No.
Oh, is that a mug? What are you doing?
Buy me a cup of coffee.
Oh! If you want to support our show in more than just a moral way, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral and buy us a cup of coffee. Now he's doing joint moves. You can go to buyusajoint.com. Wouldn't that would be something?
That could be good.
That'd be good. Happy New Year, Andy.
Happy New Year.
I'll see you tomorrow night, New Year's Eve, and then the rest of you will hear about it next week. But until then...
I love you, J. Elvis Weinstein. Not too soon?
No, that was fine.
Well, say one more thing, then I'll say it.
Okay.
Until then, you had nothing.
I didn't have anything, but I could always go back to...
Please go something. I love you, J. Elvis Weinstein. Good night, Andy Kimber.